we may not be able to control everything in our outer world,
Right.
but we certainly can control our inner world. And so it's not so important to not react. I mean, everybody reacts, I react. The question is, how long are you going to react? So if you keep an emotional reaction going on for an extended period of time, you're memorizing that emotion, and your body, as the unconscious mind, is believing it's living in the same past experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
What up, YouTube? Coming with another video. Do something a little different. I'm going to express and explain, or talk about, let's just say talk about, I don't know where I got to express and explain from, but anyway, I'm going to talk about, just the past couple of weeks of what I've been processing, what I've been doing. What I've actually been doing is cleaning up things around my house, picking things up, making sure I put it in a bag. If I got to take it to Goodwill, if I have to throw in the trash, I've been doing that. At least me and the family been doing that because it's a new season. We need to change things. So I'm changing up this video. I want to talk about how the books that I've read, the books that I've been through. Oh, wait, let me say this first. I think this is cool. I think this is my superpower because I do read and because I do read slower. Is great because the cool thing about our technology now, I download Audible, or we have Audible, and if I have the physical book, what I do is I download the Audible as well, and I have it read to me, and it helps me retain the information because I'm actually reading it and somebody's talking to me, and it helps me go through it quicker. And the cool thing about these apps and different things and different technology is you can slow up the recording or the talk to you.
Slow it down or speed it up.
I don't know if I said that right, but I think you got the understanding where I'm going with that. But anyway, I was cleaning up and I stumbled upon a book that or a couple books. I might name a couple more, but there's two books that I'm excited about. One's right here. Let's see. Can I get it in there? Boom. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural, How Common People Are Doing the Uncommon. And I'm trying to be a common person to do the uncommon. And I think, me and Toya driving across the country and the stuff we've done, we've heard enough conversations of how amazing or how awesome that process was of picking up and driving across the country. And if you want to know the story, these were the first videos. Jody will put them up here somewhere. Anyway, so Becoming Supernatural is exactly where I'm at right now. I want to do something supernatural. I want to create supernatural, and I want to be what people see as a common person doing the uncommon. Like that is my passion in this season, and that's what I'm doing. I'm setting out on that path, putting myself on top of that mountain and looking back down and saying, hey, you came a long way, so now let's go a little higher. I'm actually, in my mind's eye, building another mountain to climb on top of this one so people can perceive and see things that are uncommon. I don't know exactly how that looks, but I know that I'm not going to stop and I'm going to keep going. So the book Becoming Supernatural was I wish I could remember when it was before 2020 that I definitely grabbed the book and sat down with it and went through it like I do most books or all books. I have a lot of books that I go through and a lot of lectures on the books, especially with the supernatural. I found Joe Dispenza many years ago because I was looking to do something for myself and I couldn't figure out why my mind wasn't shifting. So I don't remember how I stumbled upon him. It was definitely on YouTube. And then I just saved all his videos that I could find and I started watching all of them. And in essence, it's another mentor to me that he doesn't even know yet. So if I ever meet him, awesome. If I don't, he's been great to me. So Becoming Supernatural I know that was a book that I grabbed first. And then Joe Dispenza has another book called The Placebo. It might be The Placebo. I have it somewhere. I'm trying to look, but whatever. Jody can put it up. The Placebo Effect. And that was another great book. So the reason why I bring up the placebo and the supernatural is because being a part of a science research team, we get into these long, wonderful, amazing, creative conversations on basically the placebo. I didn't understand it. I can't say I didn't know what it was, but being in a double blind study, and now mind you, that sounds explanatory. It's like, duh, but a lot of the study that we're in now is a double blind. So a lot of the people, the participants want to know, do I have it or don't I have the placebo? And no one knows, and that's what's cool about it, because I have to, or what I do in the process, I watch them through their exercise part, and I want to know, like, man, if they have the placebo, they're better. And then this person, if they don't have the placebo, they're still better. What matters? They're better. That's what I focus on. Is the fact is they're getting better, or are they doing the exercises to get better? And that's what excites me, because everybody's getting better. And even if it's a 2-degree change or 2%, I don't know why I said degree, but 2% change, it's a change, and it's amazing. And I get excited about it. I love that. I love the little small things with athletes when they realize they can run and jump or run a time, or, they made a tackle, kick the ball, that stuff excites me, and it will always excite me. So I'm talking fast because I'm kind of excited. I just realized that. But yeah, that's the placebo effect is the other book. The one I just shown was the Supernatural. But here's one of the books that I really did enjoy. I just threw the other one on the ground. Hold on. I really did enjoy, and it kind of brought everything together after I went through those 2 books. It was this one. It was by don't break nothing. What was it at? Bruce Lipton, The Biology of Belief. And I'm gonna sum it up. It's a big book, as you saw. It's not a small book. So I'm gonna sum it up very quickly. And if you want to know more about it, go get the book. I can't explain it like he explains it, and I'm only going to take what I took from it and share. And hopefully if you enjoy what I share about it, you go get the book. He's not giving me anything with this. The man don't even know me. But anyway, it's a great book. The Biology of Belief. This is what the title did for me. I mean, Bruce Lipton and Greg Brennan, hopefully I said his name, and Joe Dispenza, they kind of were at the time doing talks and different things together. And the Biology of Belief, for me, the title was like the science of belief, like how, that's what we're trying to put belief system. I didn't think about anything or a concept that there's a science in thinking and believing and processing. And so I sought out for the book. Joe Dispenza has a lot of stuff in his book. And Greg Brennan talks about, Brendan, hopefully I'm saying his name right. He talks about it a lot in his book about, brain scans and different things they've done, because they're scientists or they're doctors as well. So the Biology of Belief intrigued me, because I was like, I never thought about belief being a science or it being studied by science. Why didn't I think of that? I don't know. But I was there and I explored it. And one simple thing that I can explain from it is, everything that we process in our minds and we're thinking about it, we have to perceive it as a projection, or where you're projecting it out. So let's be simple with it. You're projecting out negative thoughts and negative comes back to you. That's what you're projecting. If you're putting out positive thoughts and positive comes back to you, that's what you're projecting. And it's simple to say, obviously harder to bring yourself to the conscious understanding of it. So for me, I've been driving to Tucson, doing all this stuff. And then one day I just had when I was headed to Tucson, it was not a fun morning. Everything negative was coming my way. And I don't mean like people yelling at me. It was like if I got cut off, Border Patrol was a little, out here in Arizona, you have to drive through a border checkpoint. They were a little zealous, and I've never really dealt with, have my windows down. I keep everything moving, and everything was coming. The car, me and Toya just got a new car. The oldest is driving now, so we needed another car. And the electronics stopped working in the car on the way up to Tucson. My emotions were all involved in it. Like I could feel it as I was driving. And the biggest thing about the car not functioning properly when it came to electronics, I didn't have time to listen to my book, or I didn't get a chance to listen to my book on the way up. And that was my time where I can really just, obviously I'm in the car, I can listen to it. And it wasn't, I was a little upset, let's say. And then by the time, I know I said my mantras, I'm walking through that. I actually turned the radio off and went through my own thoughts, because I said, I control my reality. That was one big thing that I always say. And I obviously, well, it's not obvious, but at the time, it didn't just jump out where everything changed. I started to look for things positive along that path. My biology, the science, what I'm projecting. So I was projecting, because I know the route that I drive or the roads. So I was projecting, if something, bad happens or traffic hits and I'm going to be a little late, it will all work out for me. And I remember saying it. And of course, I got right into Tucson, and they're doing construction and there's traffic. It's all working out for me. And I continued that all the way till I got to the lab. And honestly, when I got in the lab, things didn't change. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit, but it only changed when I kept saying to myself, it's all working out for me. And as I was leaving the lab, things just started to change, period. Things just started to change. It wasn't anything that came to me. It was just the feelings that I had. And I started to recognize in Tucson, they have beautiful mountains around the city. I started to just enjoy those. Getting all the way back to Sierra Vista, if you drove down 90 coming to Sierra Vista, you're surrounded by mountains, and you can see Tombstone or Mexico out in the distance. It's beautiful. So I took that as an extreme and excited success for what I was attracting. Because if I would have stuck in the fact that, people were cutting me off, which they were, it seemed more than I've ever, and I'm talking about slamming on my brakes, obviously frustrated. What we have a manual transmission vehicle, and I know how to drive it, but I'm not completely used to it yet. So it's a couple times I forgot that I'm in, fifth gear, or I'm in fourth gear and I need to shift down. And, I was having a time, but I appreciate all that, because on my way back home by the end of the day, or the end of that morning, because I came back that same morning, everything started to change for me. I started to see things differently. And then I walked in with my talking to my boys, and we had a beautiful conversation about just, how I appreciate them. So that's a simple, small story. And that was a couple of days ago, let's just say. I can't remember, and I don't want to try to sit here and remember all of it. But anyway, and then I just continue in that love and that feeling of how blessed I was. And here's the thing, and I'm gonna wrap this video up. I don't want to talk for 30 minutes. I do kind of, but I'm gonna wrap this up. The biology of belief is, I had to start looking at my thoughts as science. Like, the universe is watching my thoughts. And if I'm thinking it, as a man thinketh, so is he. If I'm thinking it, then I need to be looking for it to come to me, good or bad. So I made a conscious choice to look at every positive thing. And I will be darned if positive doesn't start to happen. And the small things, those is usually where it starts with me. And then I enjoy those and I celebrate those things. I am in love with myself because of that. I love myself. And that's what I'm sharing this. So, everybody can understand and at least grasp something from their perspective. And I think that's the biggest thing, loving thyself, or know thyself. That is huge. And through these times, like we assume 2020, so I've heard this conversation before, I heard people say this before, 2020 didn't really affect me like that. And that's just, it affected the whole world. We were all thinking differently, thinking thoughts that we probably never would have perceived that were even in our minds. So in this new season, in this beautiful season, in this wonderful new year, let's as a society, as people, just start thinking those positive things, and here's the thing, it's not easy. I'm not asking you to every day think like, no, no, no. I'm saying in the morning, write down on a index card. I call it my cue cards. And every morning read it when you're brushing your teeth. And you brush your teeth, I hope, every morning. But in the morning, just read that. It could be one liner, just a one liner, you know, I am, and then you add on the rest. I mean, if you do that, I know, you know, things will change. I had a little exercise when Jade had to put up, or she has to remember how old she was. She was a teenager for sure. And I text her the same thing every day. I didn't tell her I was going to do it. I think by day 3, she had told me, she said, Coach is going to text me this every day. And I did it for 30 days. And of course, yes, I did it for her, but I also was doing it for me. And to this day, when she starts to process information, she says exactly what I text her every day. We have things in our life that we need to do every day, like eat, you know, again, brush our teeth. Those are the things that, you know, we do every day subconsciously. We just do them. But, you know, I guess the challenge is, you know, write something down, put it next to the mirror, and every day read it, and then expect your life, you know, those small things for you to see your life change. Don't write it down, or you can, but don't write it down saying, I hope. No, just write it down and say it. And know, and it will, you will basically, I am is a command. You command it to come to you. And when you start doing that, just start the domino effect. So hopefully I shared enough. Like I said, I got tons of books. I have one book I'm going through now. It's going to be a little interesting when I do a video on, but I'm not done with it yet. But I'm going to do a video on books, because I think, you know, for myself, I can share a lot more of who I am and what I'm creating, because I'm extremely confident on where I am. So thank you two for listening. Peace. Hey folks, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh yeah, hit that bell, you know, so you can know more about Swift Sundays.